I thought it was over. I really did. Leaving the phone behind felt like breaking something, like stepping out of a loop that had been pulling me in. For a moment, everything felt normal again. Quiet, predictable, safe. But that didn't last, because the next morning, I woke up to a message on my own phone. I didn't pick up the phone right away. I just stared at it. My own phone. Lying there on the table. Silent. Like nothing had happened. But I knew better, because it had already started. Again. The message was still on the screen. No number. No sender. Just words. You were not supposed to remember. My chest tightened, because I did remember. Everything. The bench. The voice. The version of me that had already been there. Waiting. Watching. Knowing. I tried to unlock the phone. My hands were steady now, too steady, like something inside me had already accepted this. The screen flickered for a moment. Then another message appeared. Before I could even react. Don't try to change it. That was the moment something shifted, not outside, but inside me. Because I realized something. This wasn't warning me anymore. It was controlling me. I stood up slowly. The room felt different, smaller, like the walls had moved closer, like everything was narrowing, leading somewhere I didn't want to go. The phone buzzed again. Another message. You're already late. Late. For what? I hadn't gone anywhere. I hadn't done anything. And yet, it felt true. I grabbed my jacket, not because I decided to, but because it felt like the only thing I could do, like I had done it before, more than once. Outside, the air was colder than it should have been. The street was empty, too empty. No cars, no distant sounds, just silence. Then the message came again. Walk. I didn't question it. I didn't stop. I just moved. Step by step, down the same path, toward the same park, toward the same bench. Every step felt familiar, not like memory, but like repetition. Like I was replaying something that had already happened. When I reached the park, I didn't hesitate. I didn't look around. I just walked straight to the bench and sat down. The light above me flickered, exactly like before. The same rhythm, the same dull glow. The phone buzzed. Wait. So I waited. Again. Time passed. Or maybe it didn't. It was impossible to tell anymore. Because everything felt stuck. Then footsteps. Slow, measured, coming from behind me. I didn't turn, I already knew. The steps stopped right behind me. And then a voice, quiet, controlled, familiar. You're starting to understand. I closed my eyes because I knew what would happen next. I had already lived it. But this time, something was different. The phone buzzed, one more message. Break the pattern. My eyes opened instantly. My heart started racing. For the first time, something had changed. I turned, faster than before the moment could lock into place, before it could repeat. And there he was. Me. But this time, he looked surprised. For the first time, he didn't know what was going to happen. And that's when I realized this loop wasn't perfect. It could break. And if it could break, then maybe I wasn't trapped. The phone vibrated again, harder this time, more urgent. Don't let him speak. Everything inside me froze because I understood exactly what that meant. He opened his mouth, slowly, like he had done before, like he always did. But this time, I moved first. Ha! I should have walked away. I know that now. But I didn't. Because something inside me was still listening. The silence around me wasn't empty. It was waiting. I stood there for a long time, staring into the darkness where the phone had been, where everything had ended. Or at least, where I thought it had ended. My breath slowed. My heartbeat followed. And for a moment, it felt like I was free. No messages, no instructions, no voice. Just me, alone. But then I noticed something. Not a sound, not a movement, a feeling, like something had shifted again. Subtle, almost impossible to detect. But once I felt it, I couldn't ignore it. I reached into my pocket, slowly, carefully. And that's where my stomach dropped, because my phone wasn't empty. The screen lit up on its own. One message already open. You kept it. I froze because I hadn't. I had let it fall. I had left it behind. I was sure of it. But the message didn't care. It was there, clear, unmistakable. You always do. The words hit differently. Not like a warning, not like a command, like a fact, something that had already been decided. I tried to remember, to go back, to find the exact moment when I had picked it up again. But there was nothing, just a gap, a missing piece. And that's when the fear changed. It wasn't about what would happen next. It was about what had already happened, without me knowing. The phone vibrated again, soft this time, almost gentle. Another message. You're learning. Learning what? How to follow, how to repeat, or how to forget. I looked around. The park felt different now. Not empty. Observed. Like something was watching from just outside my vision, waiting for me to make the next move. The phone buzzed again. Turn around. I hesitated. For the first time in a long time. I hesitated. Because I understood something now. Following the messages had never been the safe option. It had only felt that way. But still, I turned, slowly, and this time, there was no one there. No older version, no shadow, no footsteps, nothing, just darkness. But the message came again. Closer. My throat tightened. Closer to what? There was nothing there, and yet it felt like there was. Something just beyond the edge of sight. I took a step forward, then another. The ground felt wrong. Too soft, too quiet. Like I wasn't walking on something real. The phone vibrated sharply. Stop! I froze instantly. And then I saw it. Not clearly, not fully, but enough. A shape. Standing in the dark. Not moving, not breathing. Just there, watching. The phone buzzed again. Now you see. My heart was racing again. Because this wasn't part of the loop. This was something else. Something new. Something that hadn't been there before. Or maybe something I hadn't been allowed to see. The shape moved. Just slightly. And for a second, I thought it was stepping forward. But it wasn't. It was changing, shifting, becoming clearer, more familiar. And then I understood. It wasn't another version of me. It wasn't the past or the future. It was something else entirely, something that had been behind all of this, all along. The phone vibrated one last time, and the message felt different. Final. You're ready. For what? I didn't want to know, but I already did. Because this was never about escaping or breaking the loop. It was about reaching this moment, this exact point, where I finally saw the truth that the messages were never coming from me. They were coming from something that had been watching me, learning me, becoming me. And now, it didn't need the phone anymore. So, tell me in the comments, what would you do if this phone was yours?